Oh, it's a beautiful day out today. And clear skies. It's just beautiful. And tomorrow is supposed to be raining cats and dogs. And then Wednesday, it's supposed to be windy, just pounding us with wind. Today's Monday, and it is a beautiful Monday. For you folks that have to go to work, so sorry for you. Because I'll tell you, today is the day to get out and get something done here in Sand Hollow, Idaho. And I'm going to work on this bush here and those other bushes yonder. And then there's some apple trees that I got to get to. Now, I come out here about a week ago, and it was a little cold and windy. But I got out here to do a video, and I did a little video, and I was going to put it on the internet. And believe it or not, I stepped up to the video and was talking away and did my video and went inside, and I uploaded it to the computer, and I saw something that I realized that I have just had a senior moment. Everything was upside down. My phone obviously was set up upside down, and so the whole video was upside down. And I thought, oh man, I know my son, there's ways to reverse that, but it brought to my mind that what do you do when you get up in your age and senior moments turn into years? Well, you roll with it, man. You roll with it. You do what you can, and that's what I'm doing today. Oh, I know it's spring, real close to spring, because the robins are out getting some worms out of my yard. But we have a saying here in Idaho, in this Treasure Valley. There's a mountain that is, well, you really can't see it from here, but there's a mountain out there. It's called a hill. It's a pretty good sized mountain, and it's called Emmett Hill. And when Emmett Hill has snow on it, winter's not over. Well, that makes sense. You're still getting snow in the higher elevations. But what they're saying is, don't plant your perishable, tender plants out yet in your garden, because they just won't make it. There's going to be some heavy frost, and in our area, we have frost until the middle of May. Well, when I came to Idaho, 1970, and got married in 71, and it was just a year or so after that, we got a place where we could do our gardening. And when I started gardening, I was planting in the week of the April 23rd, which was my birthday. I'd take a week off from work, and I'd plant my garden and do my spring cleaning the week of the 23rd of April, and I'd plant all my plants, and then I'd stake up, and I had some plastic that I could throw over those stakes and just kind of protect the plants. Most of the time I won. There was a few times I lost. One time in particular, I had 36 tomato plants set out, and being a young man, I was so proud of myself. Well, I went ahead and planted these 36 tomato plants in this, believe it or not, 25 by 25 garden. Now that's a lot of tomatoes in that area. And it frosted, just killed them down to the ground. You could barely see the stubs sticking up. Broke my heart. I mean, we didn't have a lot of money back then, and I went and bought me some more. 36 to be exact. And I went out there in the garden, and I I planted 36 more tomato plants right where the old ones were. Well, as time went by, I noticed the plants were coming up real good, and then I got to looking, and those stubs, that area where the stubs were, turned into tomato plants, and now I had 72 tomato plants in a 25 by 25 area. It was so busy. It was so busy with tomatoes and plants, and I didn't have cages back then. I was learning the hard way, I guess you could say. And there was just so many tomato plants that they kind of got so big heavy with tomatoes, and they fell over. I tried to stake them up, and I tried to use strings and get them to set up, but didn't work. Just flat didn't work. So anyhow, that's my little story of this zone is zone 6, and oh my, there's a lot to learn about planting in this area, and I have learned to have the patience and set the plants out when things are safer. And what that means is your harvest is going to be a lot later in the year. So when I'm harvesting in October, and it depends on when the big freeze or frost hits, but when a lot of you folks have already got your stuff put up because you planted real early and you were able to get by, we're still harvesting and still working in the garden until the end of October. So, well, yeah, and then that just means that we've been picking and we've been canning everything we can, but we usually go into November and we're still canning. We're still putting up cans of vegetables. And then the last things are the vegetables, the rooted vegetables, the ones, like the beets and the carrots and turnips and whatnot, things like that. Those are the last things that we'll dig up, and then we'll can those, and we'll eat as much as we can fresh, and we'll pack some into our storage shed, our what we call our pantry shed, and we'll put them in there and try to keep them another month or two. And I got to keep it warm enough in there. Boy, did I get a surprise. Got a phone call on my cell phone while I'm videoing, and I take it that that's another senior moment. For you young yahoos, that probably would have been a 5-minute job. But for me, it takes a lot of energy out of me. But those bushes are now trimmed up for the summer, and I got a whole bunch of stuff to work on. Fact of it is, I just turn you around. Over there, this bush, this tree here, let's see if I can get it up better. This tree right here is pretty much dead. Winter got it 3 years ago. And I have a bunch of sucklings that have come up, and I'm going to take them out. And the other bushy looking thing over there actually is suckers from a yellow plum tree. I'm trying to decide how to thin her down so I can get at least one of those plum trees to give me something. And then of course the big one are these apple trees, and I'll probably do a little filming when we do that, because my boy, hopefully I can get my boy in on that one. This is this apple tree. It's been 2 years since we trimmed it, so it's way behind. And then of course garden time. All that garden needs to be cleaned, and then the other garden, of course. All that raspberries, my blueberries, blackberries already trimmed over here. So just tomato cages, clean up the weeds, get a rototilled. That will not happen for a while. Hey, I hope you enjoyed the visit. And it's been a while since I did a video. I haven't been getting out much. But if the weather will warm up enough and warm up my bones a little, maybe I could do a little more. So from Sand Hollow Homestead, to all you new subscribers, I say thank you. We're up to about 470 some subscribers, and we may be seeing in a month or so 500. I don't do enough videos to deserve it, but you folks, I thank you very much for coming by and helping me out. And you come back again, I'll try to do a few more videos when I can, and I'll try to get out more once this weather's straightened out a little bit. I'm a little slow when it comes to getting out here, so God bless you. You know, there's lots of food in the pantry, so we'll see you at supper time.